Be Me 30F, Senior People Ops / Culture Lead at a fintech startup, grad degree in communications, stuff fully convinced tech is the last safe zone for unmoderated dude gatekeeping. Not here to do HR, here to torch the whole meritocracy bedtime story. Because merit is just code for who had rich parents and 10,000 free hours at 14 inches. Like, yeah, bro, sorry, I didn't spend middle school compiling C++ in a suburban basement. Been at this place like 9 months company. Does payment routing / processing aggregation, the most boring back-end plumbing imaginable, but the VC funding is absolutely unhinged. My job is basically making sure the vibe doesn't rot, and the diversity metrics don't flatline, and I take that personally. I've got a little manifesto taped next to my monitor. Code is power. Neutrality is a choice. Comfort is collaboration. Read it every morning while sipping an overpriced ginger oat latte. Like it's communion walk into the office and it's straight up 2 tribes. Tribe 1, growth, marketing, people team, bright corner, plants, neon sticky notes, good energy only, mostly women and a few soft-voiced dudes in slim fit jeans. We talk about capacity, holding space, emotional runway. Slack reactions like, it's a slot machine, we schedule happy hours and guided breathing sessions. Tribe 2, engineering back corner like a cave blind's always down, like vampires live there. About 14 guys on back end 0. Women literal 0. A stat. I stare at 2 a.m. like it's a horror movie. They don't do emojis, they do periods. They'll respond, okay. And somehow it's a threat they're the gatekeepers. Their king is this back-end architect named Derek. 39M, looks like he hasn't experienced REM sleep since 2015. Talks in pure efficiency, doesn't care about my how are you really doing, cares about latency, throughput, and whatever acronym he's mad about today. To me, Derek is the old guard in human form, the toxic rigor that conveniently keeps everyone else out. He honestly believes if you can't code, you shouldn't be in the building. I believe if you bring the right perspective, the code can be taught. We're basically at war, Cold War fought in Slack threads and passive-aggressive all hands. Q, and as the spark for the coming dumpster fire starts on a Monday, we've got an opening for a junior back-end dev. Our CEO, Todd, mid-40s, tries so hard to be the cool founder, calls a quick sync. I show up with my iPad and the little pencil. Like I'm about to litigate, Derek shows up with a tiny spiral notepad and a pen that looks stolen from a bank lobby. Todd starts with the founder voice. Okay team, we need to fill this seat. Back end is drowning. Derek says we're at critical capacity. Derek just nods at the table, like he's in a hostage video. Yeah, we're bleeding. I need somebody who can hit the ground running, starts listing demands like he's ordering off a menu. Python heavy SQLAWS. Lambda. Bonus points, if they understand financial compliance protocols. I do the careful throat clear soft, but authoritative wait until both of them look at me. Hit Derek with the practice smile. That's a wish list, not a job description. And it's a wish list designed to keep certain people out. Derek does this long, exhausted sigh. I hate that sigh. It's the sound of a man convinced he's smarter because he knows what a server does. He goes, Megan, like my name tastes bad. We handle money, people's rent, their car payments. If this breaks... Lawyers show up. I need competence. I shoot back immediately. Competence is not an objective measurement. What you're asking for is a very specific pedigree. You're filtering for who had access to these tools for years. You're filtering for privilege. Tell them, if we want to change the ratio in the cave, we can't keep fishing in the same pond. Turn to Todd. We talked about Q3 targets. We said we're changing what frictionless looks like. We have 0 women on back end. If we post Derek's requirements, we'll just hire another Derek. Todd flinches like, I just said a slur. He knows he can't be seen as anti-diversity. He shifts in his chair. Maybe we soften the requirements. Focus on aptitude. Derek's head snaps up. Aptitude? Todd, I don't have time to teach someone what a variable is. I need a developer. I go, calm voice, promise tone, and you'll get one. But we hire for potential. We hire for culture add, not just culture fit. And because Todd is terrified of being the villain in someone's LinkedIn post, I end up owning the whole hiring process. First thing I do is gut the job. Listing delete, Computer science degree required, delete, 5+ years, postgrad experience, delete, must be willing to do on-call rotations. Because, yeah, on-call absolutely punishes anyone with kids or anxiety, or an actual life. Replace it with my version, are you a problem solver? Do you see code as a tool that shapes society? Come build systems with us. Requirements, curiosity, empathy, collaboration, basic comfort with logic. Post it everywhere, except the usual bro ponds, not LinkedIn, not Stack Overflow. I put it on all the alternative boards, the ones full of creatives, career switchers, digital nomads, people who list storytelling as a skill. 2 days later, Derek DMs me, I saw the posting. You're hiring a philosopher, not a coder. This is going to end badly, I reply, with the little shushing face emoji print his message out. Like it's evidence in a trial slide, it into my resistance folder. Feels good being the one holding the steering wheel. For once applications start pouring in, hundreds, mostly bootcamp grads, people with English degrees, art history majors, former teachers, I screen them myself. I even do this blind review thing, strip out all the GitHub links and project portfolios. Because GitHub is just a museum of privilege with a dark theme. I narrow the pile down to 3 finalists. Derek immediately pings me like, cool, let's do a technical screen first. I shut that down hard. Nope, Derek. Technical screens are where the bias lives. You guys turn it into trivia night and then act surprised when people freeze. Derek does the whole jaw clench thing. We need to know if they can actually do the job. You'll get your turn. I'm doing culture screen first. If they pass the vibe check, then you can talk to them. He grinds his teeth like, I just canceled Christmas. But he agrees because what else is he gonna do? Tattletale to Todd, that I'm doing my job? I find the chosen one, her name's Harper. She's 25 degree in digital humanities, did a 10-week boot camp called Code with Heart or something, equally on brand. It's literally women in tech cohort. Her resume is like a Pinterest board, super minimalist. Soft pastel accents pronouns in bold right under her name. She lists skills like gentle debugging, story-driven engineering, and community-first building. Under technical, it says Python SQL, familiar. HTML/CSS, proficient. Perfect blank slate. No crusty programmer ego. No, I'm a genius. Everyone else is dumb. Baggage someone we can shape. Someone who won't come preloaded with cave culture. Get her on a Zoom call, she's got the cool bangs. Oversized glasses speaks in that careful soft tone. Pauses before answering, like she's making sure her words are safe drops. I feel statements like punctuation, and then she hits me with it. I want to work in tech because algorithms are basically the new legislation, and we need more women writing them so we can dismantle embedded bias. I get literal chills, like full-body goosebumps. This is it. This is the future I've been yelling about in meetings. I greenlight her on the spot, 10 out of 10. No, notes phase 2, technical interview, AKA The Hunger Games, or I schedule it with Derek and one other senior dev, quiet guy named Evan, the kind of dude who just wants to ship code and go home and not be involved in anyone's journey. And I invite myself to the interview because psychological safety and also because Derek will absolutely go feral if nobody's watching. Derek looks like he's walking to the electric chair. Harper shows up at the office in person. She's visibly nervous, like vibrating anxiety buzzing off her, like phone static. I greet her with a hug. Yeah, I know. Don't hug candidates. I do it anyway. You're gonna do great. Just be yourself. I'm here to make sure they treat you fairly. We get into the conference room, glass walls too bright. Derek doesn't even warm up. No small talk. No, how was traffic, just straight to business. Like he's trying to speedrun the vibe into the ground. Hey Harper, thanks for coming. Let's go to the whiteboard. I see her eyes flick to the whiteboard, like it's a firing squad. Derek hands her a marker. Design a simple database schema for a library lending system. Users, books, loans. Show me how it relates. Harper just stares at the board, clutches her tote bag strap with both hands like it's a life raft. A schema? Yeah, Derek says. Still holding the marker out, just tables. How do they connect? She doesn't take it. She looks at me, eyes wide, like, help. I actually don't do well with whiteboards, she says, voice shaking. It feels really performative, and I get processing delays when men are watching me. It's a pressure thing. Derek freezes. Looks at the marker, looks back at her. You can tell his brain is trying to figure out if he's being filmed. Okay, he says, deadpan. No whiteboard. We'll just talk. He leans back like he's doing her a favor. If I have a user's table and a books table, and a user borrows a book, how do I link them? Harper thinks for a long time. Like too long, the silence starts to get heavy. She goes, well, you create a connection, a relationship, right? Derek tries to sound encouraging. Sure. What's that relationship called in SQL? Her face goes blank, full brain, blue screen, 10 seconds of nothing. Then she goes, bridge? Derek rubs his whole face with his palm like he's trying to wipe reality away. It's a foreign key, he says, flat matter of fact. Harper deflates shoulders, drop. I haven't memorized all the patriarchal terminology, she says. I focus more on the flow of data. Derek turns his head slowly and looks at me. The look is basically, are you seeing this? Patriarchal terminology, he repeats, like he thinks he misheard. Harper gets a little momentum back. Yes. Like master/slave architecture, aggressive syntax. I try to code in a way that's more circular and restorative. Derek just goes, okay, in the flattest voice I've ever heard. You could hear a printer making that voice. He pivots. Let's do some Python. Write a function that reverses a string. Harper opens her laptop, starts typing, stops, deletes, types, again, deletes, again. You can see her getting stuck in her own head. Then she opens a new tab, starts going for Google. Derek reaches over and closes the laptop lid gently. Like he's trying not to scare a deer. No Googling, just the logic. How would you do it? Harper's breathing gets fast, hands shaking. This is really aggressive, she whispers. I feel like I'm being interrogated, and you're kind of man-explaining the question to me. That's when I step in. Derek, stop. He stares at me. Stop what? I'm asking her to reverse a string. This is like intro level. Seriously, Megan, it's fizzbuzz tier. I go, ice cold. You're inducing panic. Look at her. She's shaking. You're creating a hostile environment. This is exactly what I mean about toxic rigor. You're testing her tolerance for aggression, not her ability to learn. Derek's face snaps. The calm mask finally cracks. Coding is stress, he says, loud. When prod goes down at 2:30 in the morning, that's stress. If she can't handle reversing a string in a quiet room, what happens during an outage? I shoot back instantly. We don't hire for outages. We hire for the 99% where things are stable. We hire for culture. We hire to change the ratio. Harper is wiping tears off her face with her sleeve, trying to be invisible. I think I should go, she says, tiny voice. I lean in, firm, no. You stay. Then I turn to Derek. You're done. He looks like he might actually combust. I look at Evan. Evan, do you have any questions that aren't designed to humiliate? Evan looks like a hostage eyes darting between me and Derek, like he's watching parents fight. He clears his throat. What's your favorite text editor? Harper sniffles. VS Code. But I made the theme softer. Evan nods, like that's the most normal thing he's heard all day. Cool, me too. And that's basically the end of it. Interview limps to a stop. I walk out of that room and I'm shaking with rage. March straight to Todd's office like I'm about to file charges. Todd looks up and immediately goes pale, like he can feel a lawsuit approaching. What happened? I don't even sit down. Derek bullied a female candidate to tears. Todd blinks. Did he insult her? He grilled her on syntax until she had a panic response. It was ableist and exclusionary. If we don't hire her, we're basically announcing we only want aggressive neurotypical men here. We'll be that startup. Todd rubs his temples like he's trying to survive his own company. Then he hits me with the weak founder question. But can she code? I slam my hand on his desk, not hard enough to break anything hard enough to make the point she can learn. She has aptitude. She has the mindset. If we support her instead of hazing her, she'll flourish. I tell Todd if we pass on her. We're officially just another tech bro clubhouse with nicer branding. Todd does that. Founder stare where you can see the PR calculator running behind his eyes. He caves, fine, hire her, but probation period. I smile like I just won a court case. She won't need it. Harper starts 2 weeks later. Base paid like $118,000 plus options. I make sure her desk is right next to mine, not in the engineering cave, not under the vampire blinds. I'm not throwing her into the pit with 14 dudes in a Slack channel full of periods. I'm buffering her from toxicity. I set up this mentor buddy system, very official, very performative, and I assign Derek as her mentor, because if he's forced to invest in her, he can't pretend she's not real. Derek immediately emails me. Subject line basically screams in lowercase. Megan, I can't mentor someone who doesn't know fundamentals. I'm shipping the new gateway service next month. I don't have time to teach remedial SQL, I reply in my calm HR voice that makes people sweat. Leadership includes coaching. This is part of your growth path. Lean into the discomfort. Be an ally. First month is interesting. Harper becomes popular fast. Like instantly she starts a witchy women in tech. Slack channel posts, moon emojis, does little tarot pulls for team alignment, brings gluten-free muffins. Every Friday marketing is obsessed with her. She says all the correct words in meetings. I think we should de-silo that. Let's double-click on the feeling. I'm holding space for the unknown. People oops, eats it up like it's oxygen actual coding though. Not great. I keep seeing Derek leaned over her monitor. Derek's doing that thing where he pinches the bridge of his nose like he's trying to stop a migraine with willpower. I catch little pieces as I walk by. No, Harper, you can't commit secrets to the repo. We talked about this, and her voice whiny and wounded. But the environment variable wasn't loading. Derek, dead serious. So you hard-coded the AWS key in the repo? Where anyone with access can see it. Harper immediately defensive. I was just trying to make it work. You're being really critical. It's valid to experiment. I swoop in like I'm on patrol. Everything okay over here? Derek looks at me with those empty, tired eyes. The eyes of a man who has watched hope die in real time. She pushed our dev keys to a public branch. Harper jumps in fast. It was a mistake. I didn't know. I go into protect mode. It's a learning moment. I put a hand on her shoulder. Then I look at Derek. Just rotate the keys. Don't turn it into a federal case. You're crushing her confidence. This is why women leave tech. Derek doesn't even raise his voice. He just looks done. I'll rotate the keys, he says, and he walks away like a ghost. I feel this little surge of victory, like, yeah, I'm doing my job, I'm protecting my girl, and then I decide the cave needs an intervention. They're too blunt, too harsh, too addicted to making everything feel like a pop quiz. So I draft a new policy. Inclusive technical communication standard sounds official enough to scare people. I ban technical interrogation, no more. Why did you do this? Because it implies blame. Instead you ask, what was the story behind this decision? No more, this is wrong. Instead you say, this is an interesting approach. Have we considered our standards? I basically translate engineering into therapy. Also I start cracking down on access gatekeeping. I notice Harper still doesn't have access to prod 2 months in. So I corner Derek. Why doesn't she have production access? Derek doesn't even blink. Because it's dangerous. She doesn't understand the blast radius of her commands. I snap back. You're infantilizing her because she's a woman. She's a full-time developer. Give her the keys. This is about trust. If you don't trust her, you're creating a hierarchy of worth. Derek finally loses the flat tone. It is a hierarchy. He says, I have 16 years of experience. She has like 12 weeks. I lean in, give her access, Derek. Or I write you up for gender bias and blocking professional development. Derek just stares at me, long stare like he's deciding if jail would be quieter. Then he turns back to his terminal, types. Some stuff hard, angry keystrokes. Fine, he says, read-write access. It's on your head. I lift my chin. I accept that responsibility. And I mean it proudly. Fast forward 3 months into Harper's tenure. It's a Wednesday and the universe decides to test my whole philosophy. Derek is out. Not at lunch. Out, unreachable. He's having some minor procedure like dental surgery or whatever. Something with anesthesia where your phone might as well be in another country. Evan is on a plane to London for a conference. Engineering cave is basically empty. Couple interns and this one junior guy, Nate, who looks terrified of his own keyboard. I'm in the break room making matcha, because of course I am. Harper is at her desk, noise canceling, headphones on true crime, podcast, blasting. She's fully in her own world. Then Todd comes sprinting out of his office, sweaty face, red founder, panic on max. Volume, Megan. Where's Derek? I don't even look up from my cup. He's in surgery. You know this? Todd's eyes are wild. We have a crisis, he blurts it out. Payment processor flagged a compliance error. We need to sanitize a table in the database immediately, or the SEC comes down on us like a piano. It's a simple script, he says. Derek left it in the run book. I go, calm voice. Okay. We have a team? Todd shakes his head. I need a senior dev. Nate is too new. Is Evan online? I just stare at him. Evan is literally over the Atlantic right now. Todd looks like he might throw up. I point casually, like I'm pointing at a chair. Harper is here. Todd follows my finger. Harper is putting on lip gloss like nothing on earth matters. Todd says it carefully. Harper? Then he looks back at me, voice lower. Megan, she's still onboarding. I get that cold, firm tone again. She's a junior back-end developer with full access. She's been shadowing Derek for 3 months. She knows the systems. Stop gatekeeping her. This is her moment. Todd looks at the clock on the wall. We have 18 minutes before the audit sweep. If that data isn't sanitized, we get fined, like 1.2 million. I nod like it's no big deal. She can do it. It's a script. Right? Copy and paste. Don't let your bias cost us money. Todd wipes his forehead. The man is melting. Fine. Go get her. I walk over to Harper, tap her shoulder. She slides the headphones off, smiles like I just interrupted her at brunch. Hey girlie, I keep it upbeat. Big moment. Todd needs a hero, I explain. Fast script is in the company. Wiki file, name is something like scrub_compliance_table.sql. She needs to log into prod, run, it confirm it's done. Harper's smile fades. Production? I usually work on staging. Derek said. I cut in gently. Derek isn't here. You have the access. I fought for you to have it. This is your chance to prove him wrong. Show them a woman can handle pressure. Harper swallows deep breath. Okay, I can do this. I'm claiming this space. I nod hard. Exactly. She opens her terminal logs into the production server. Green text on black full matrix vibes, and I feel this swell of pride in my chest. Because I put her here. I made this happen. Harper pulls up. The wiki finds the script, highlights it, and copies it. She spins back to the terminal window, stares at it like it's about to bite her. Then she hesitates. Wait, she goes. The command line is acting weird. It feels stuck. I'm trying to stay calm. Just refresh it, reconnect. It's fine. She nods like she's convincing herself. I'll just clear the buffer. And she starts typing little commands under her breath, muttering like she's doing a spell. Okay, reset view. She taps the up arrow a few times, scrolls through her history, finds something she ran earlier, and before I can even process what she's looking at, she hits enter the terminal, explodes into scrolling text. Fast too fast. Lines ripping by like a slot machine. Harper points at it. Relieved, there. It's running. We both lean in, watching the green text on black, like it's a heart monitor. Then the scrolling just stops. Hard. Stop, a little message pops up. Error connection, terminated, 0 rows, affected, and then nothing, just dead. Quiet. Harper frowns. That's weird. And right on cue, from the sales area, someone yells, Yo, the dashboard just went blank. Another voice. Customers are spamming chat. They can't log in. We're getting 500s. The room shifts instantly like the air got heavier. Todd bursts out of his office shirt, sticking to him, eyes wide. What happened? Somebody yells back, Site is down. AP, eyes returning 404 for everything. I turn to Harper. She's pale like printer paper. Pale hands hovering over the keyboard like they don't belong to her. Harper, I say, slow. What did you run? She's staring at the terminal. Her fingers are shaking so bad she can barely touch the keys. I hit the up arrow. and I thought it was the script, but it was from my local history. Todd is suddenly right behind us. Too close, full founder, panic. What command was it? Harper's voice drops to a whisper, tears pooling. It was drop schema, public cascade. Todd freezes like his soul left his body. He stares at her like she just confessed to arson. You dropped the public schema, he says, barely audible. Harper starts spiraling. I thought I was on localhost. The prompt looks the same. I didn't have the color warning thing because Derek never set up my dot files. Todd's voice gets scary. Calm, that quiet calm. That means the screaming is being scheduled for later. You deleted the database. You deleted the entire app state. Users, transactions, balances, everything. Harper chokes out, I can undo it. There has to be a way. Todd finally snaps. There is no undo for drop cascade on production. The whole floor goes silent, like even Slack notifications stopped out of respect. My body moves before my brain does. I step between them. Todd, do not yell at her. She made a mistake. This is a UI failure. Derek should have made prod look different. This is a systems issue, Todd whips on me. Full volume, spit flying. Derek isn't here. You are. You hired her. You forced me to give her access. And this isn't, we ran out of oat milk panic anymore. This is money, panic, real panic. The kind where people's careers evaporate. Todd yanks his phone out. Calls. Derek puts it on speaker. Derek answers, sounding half-dead groggy, like he's underwater. You can hear the meds in his voice. Hello? Todd doesn't even say, hi, Derek. It's Todd. Harper ran a drop schema cascade on prod. Silence, the longest silence I've ever heard. Like the phone line itself is judging us. There's a rustle on the other end, then Derek, very quietly. Tell me you're kidding. Todd goes flat. I'm not. It's gone. Everything. The site is a white screen. I hear Derek inhale sharp, like pain plus panic. Is the replica safe? Todd looks at me like I should magically know. I don't know. How do I check? Derek's tone turns into pure command mode. Get off the phone. I'm logging in. Don't touch anything. Do not let Harper touch anything. Click the next hour is a smear. Time doesn't move right. The office is dead silent except for whispering and frantic typing. Somewhere people huddled like it's a disaster movie. Harper is crying at her desk. Mascara streaked down her cheeks, head in her hands shaking. I sit next to her and try to do my protective voice. It's okay. They set you up to fail. This is systemic. It's not your fault, but I can feel the lie in my own throat because it is her fault, and it's mine too. I look at her monitor, just a blinking cursor, empty prompt, that little blinking line like it's mocking us. The cursor of death about 35 minutes later. Derek walks in. He took an Uber straight from whatever clinic he looks like. A zombie face, gray jaw, swollen gauze peeking in his mouth, eyes bloodshot. He doesn't look at me, doesn't look at Harper, doesn't even acknowledge the room, just drops into his chair like a machine powering on, and he starts typing. Not normal typing, violent typing, click, clack, click, clack, click, clack, fast, precise, rhythmic. Like his hands are trying to beat the server back to life. Nate hovers behind him, wide-eyed. What are you doing? Derek mumbles around gauze words half-chewed. Point-in-time recovery from the WAL logs. Restoring from S3. Spinning up a fresh instance. Remapping DNS. I don't know what half of that means, but I know what it sounds like. It sounds like competence. It sounds like the thing I've been calling toxic rigor. It sounds like the gatekeeper saving everyone's ass. The room stays frozen while he works. Nobody breathes too loud. Every few minutes, Todd whispers to someone on the phone. Sales keeps refreshing dashboards like prayer. Harper just sobs quietly, shoulders bouncing. I keep wanting to say something, anything but I don't, because I don't want Derek to stop. After almost 2 hours, Derek finally leans back slow, like his spine is made of glass. We're back, he says, lost about 12 minutes of data. I can rebuild most of it from processor logs manually. Todd basically collapses into a chair, hands over his face. Oh my God. Derek, you saved us. Derek spins his chair around, finally looks at Harper. Harper looks up, eyes swollen, red face, puffy voice, tiny. I'm sorry. The prompt. Derek lifts a hand. Hard stop gesture. Stop. Harper freezes. Derek doesn't even look angry. He looks empty. I don't care about the prompt. I don't care about your feelings. Then he turns to Todd like I'm not even there. And that's when my adrenaline kicks in, because my brain tries to salvage control. I step forward. Okay. Wait, this is a coaching moment. We can't just fire her over one mistake. We need to examine the process. Derek slowly turns his head to me. His eyes are dark circles of pain and sleep deprivation. And for the first time, he says my name with zero corporate politeness, Megan. Then, flat as concrete, shut up. I literally gasp like an offended theater kid. Excuse me? You cannot speak to me like that? That is harassment. Derek doesn't blink. I just kept this company from going under, while bleeding from my jaw. I do not care about your handbook right now, he points, not dramatically, just accurately. You forced an unqualified person into a critical role because you liked her vibe. Derek doesn't let up. He points at me, like he's done pretending. You bullied me into giving her keys she didn't understand. This isn't a mistake. This is negligence. Gross negligence. Then he looks straight at Todd. No drama, just a dead simple ultimatum. Her or me, Todd. If she stays, I'm gone. Todd doesn't even blink, not even a second of hesitation. Like the choice is so obvious it's insulting to ask. He turns to Harper. Harper, pack your stuff. Harper immediately starts sobbing, ugly crying hands shaking. But the culture, the sisterhood. Todd cuts her off, voice cold. Culture doesn't pay the bills. HR will mail you your last check. Harper just stands there for a second, like she's buffering, then shuffles toward the door, head down. It's honestly pathetic. Nobody says goodbye. Marketing doesn't even look up. Because the second money gets threatened, the community evaporates, and I'm standing there, jaw tight, trying to look defiant like I'm still in control of something. I turn to Todd. I need to speak with you. Privately. He nods, exhausted. Yeah. My office. We go inside. Door closes. I sit down and cross my legs like it's a performance review. I go straight into my script. What happened out there was toxic masculinity. Derek humiliated Harper. He humiliated me. And you let him. I'm gonna have to file a formal report. Todd just stares at me, and he looks different now. The cool founder mask is gone, no playful startup energy. He looks like a guy who watched 50 grand burn in 2 hours. Megan, he says quiet, there isn't gonna be a report. I blink. Oh, there will be. And if you retaliate, I'm not retaliating, he cuts in. I'm restructuring. Then he slides a paper across the desk like we're in a bank. I look down and my stomach drops. We're eliminating the people ops/culture division. For a second, my brain doesn't process the words. I look up, what? You can't. Who's going to run the ERGS? The inclusion workshops? Todd doesn't flinch. Nobody. He says it like he's saying, we're out of coffee. We're a startup. We need code that works and sales that close. We tried it your way. We tried the soft skills first approach. It almost killed the company. My voice spikes. So you're firing me because she made a mistake. Todd shakes his head slowly. I'm firing you because you built the environment for the mistake. You prioritized ideology over reality. You called competence exclusion. You called safety gatekeeping. You were wrong. I feel my eyes sting. Hate that it's happening. I was trying to build a better world. I snap. Voice cracking. Todd's tone softens, like he's talking to a kid who broke something expensive. It's a business. Megan, it's not a family. It's not a cause. It's a machine. And you threw a wrench in the gears because you thought the wrench looked pretty. That hits like a slap. I go for spite because I've got nothing else. You're a dinosaur. You and Derek. You'll be obsolete in 5 years. Todd gives this tiny shrug. Maybe. But today the dinosaur fixed the database. And the poet deleted it. He taps the paper. Hand in your badge. My throat goes tight, but my hands move anyway. I pack my office in silence, my little fiddle leaf fig, my frame manifesto, the stupid folder I labeled Resistance. I hold it for a second. All those printed DMs and screenshots like they ever mattered. Then I walk to the recycling bin and dump the whole thing in paper thumps in, like it's admitting defeat box in my arms. I head out and I have to walk past the engineering cave on the way to the elevator, Blinds still down, lights still dim, but the silence is different now. Not oppressive, not hostile, just focused. I hear low conversation. Derek is at his screen, pointing at something Nate's next to him, nodding. Actually taking notes, they look calm, they look weirdly peaceful, like people who just solved a real problem. I pause for half a second. I want to say something. I want to tell them they're toxic, that they're the problem, that they're the reason the industry is broken, but the words stick because the big wall monitor is up again. Transaction dashboard, green bars, traffic flowing, money moving, world working. And it's obvious in a way that makes me sick. They didn't need me. They never needed me. I was just expensive noise in a company that runs on numbers. 4 hours later, I'm on the floor of my apartment drinking wine out of a mug because I can't find a clean glass laptop. Open doom scrolling LinkedIn, and Harper already posted, heartbroken to leave, frictionless today. Sometimes you realize a space isn't ready for your light. Excited for my next adventure in ethical coding. She's got like 200 likes, already comments full of corporate hugs. So brave, their loss. You're a queen. My hands start typing without me. I begin a post. Today I learned the tech industry still has a long way to go. Then I stop staring at the cursor, blinking mocking me. I backspace the whole thing, delete, delete, delete. Close the tab, open a new one, type in a search, SQL, for beginners. Tutorial, click the first video. It's some guy with a thick accent explaining tables, like it's the weather. It's boring, dry objective. It doesn't care about my feelings at all. And for the first time in my life, I think that might actually be a good thing.